Hello everyone, welcome for this new episode of Timeout from Tamriel. Last week we had a very exciting discussion about underwater content, and this week we've decided to be more serious and we will be speaking about veteran rank. If we like them, if we want to change it, if we believe that ZeniMax will remove them or not. A vast subject. Timeout, Deltia, your start.
All right, so veteran ranks, it was introduced as basically like an alternate advancement system, I guess, or an advancement system that I've never even seen in a game before. And the short answer I think we need to find out is, do we like it or not? I personally do not care for it. I think it's inflated content. What I do like about the veteran ranks is the possibility to go to other places and experience the content in other zones. I personally like that because I can have one character that I can experience every single part of this game and all the quests in it. So you don't have to reroll a different faction if you don't want to. I love that component of it, but the fact that veteran ranks, it's almost like it's gotten worse because at first it was, you had 10 veteran ranks. So I guess, you hit your level cap and then you have like 10 more ranks. Okay, not that bad. Then, they changed the experience. So, veteran rank 1 and veteran rank 14 are all 1 million experience points. I do not like it whatsoever. I mean, people want to get to endgame so they can play content, equip their gear, and stuff like that. I don't think it should take 150 hours to 600 hours to get to endgame. Because Aloha, you just hit veteran rank 14, and it's been 1 year.
Yes, indeed.
So what do you think?
Well, I think that ZeniMax wanted to create a sort of feel of continuing to progress your character, probably because when they originally built the game, they didn't have so much stuff or so much content to do for PvE players. In comparison to Zero Deal, and they freak out and they imagine this veteran system with this new progression system. And I think, if I understand correctly, they were planning to add constantly veteran rank. First 12, then 14, which is an awful idea. I think that idea absolutely terrible, because for slow players like me, you never can catch up the others and do what everyone is doing, the last hype stuff. If you're not hurrying, it's bad. So I'm happy that they have changed it, the progression system that you have once you reach endgame. And for me, you reach endgame at veteran 1. That's when you reach endgame. When you finish the main story, and then you can start to do Craglorn, you can start to do Veteran Dungeon, you can start to do the Silver Cadwell or the Gold Cadwell if you like to do it. I don't mind to have the Veteran rank right now because we are used to it, but I don't like the idea of gaining more Veteran rank all the time.
Crazy idea. All right, Sig.
I'm going to have a bit of an unpopular opinion on this, I think. The veteran rank system needs some work. It needs some help. It needs to be changed in certain ways. But at this point in the game, it's been with us for a year. I don't mind the system all that much. But then, at the same time, I am in no hurry to get to endgame. My highest is VR 7 right now. And I'm just taking it as I get it. I don't have an issue with it, really. So I think at this point, removing veteran ranks is going to be more trouble and more time-consuming and cost more development resources than it's worth.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I think, the next subject is do they or do not they remove the veteran system? And my problem with it, I think it was inflated content, meaning you can't just throw on 5 million experience points and call it content. You have to release dungeons and Craglorn's content. You don't have to release the level cap with Craglorn. It's just fun. It should be harder. You have to equip better items. And that is the premise behind why I don't think they're going to remove it, is the items. How are you going to scale items?
Yeah, that's a whole lot of work. They're going to have to do passes on current content to scale it down. They're going to have to do passes on any and all veteran ranked equipment in the game.
It would be way too much work.
Yeah.
And I think that this game launching on consoles, I think the biggest mistake it will have is veteran ranks being launched on consoles. Because I don't think people will stick around once they've hit 50 to go grind zombies for, 100 hours like I do. It's not fun, I don't think.
No, yeah, but the thing is that, or I will explain how I felt, how was my experience. When I reached Veteran 1, I consider myself at endgame. That's
you
how
consider
I felt.
yourself there, but the game doesn't.
But yes, there was plenty of stuff to do. I started to do Veteran Dungeon. I started to do Craglorn. I even tried a Trials at Veteran 6. So I didn't felt excluded by the content. Maybe it's because I was healer and I was not a DPS that needed to pull out as much damage. That's maybe the reason why I was capable to do that. But I had the feeling that I was included into all endgame-ish activities, and that's why I was not sad about the fact that I had still 14 veteran to grind. I didn't felt it as a grind. I just played the game. So that's why I don't really mind that they remove or not, but my opinion is that once you have finished the main story, you need to be able to do any game. You need you should not have to do more content or to level or to do whatever to reach the real game. You should start it immediately, and so for now I think it's quite well balanced, for me at least, apparently not for you. So
I hate it.
I think they could keep it that way, because I didn't feel forced. I have not finished. I have just started Cadwell Gold, so I've leveled everything without doing it. Quest in Cadwell Gold. So I didn't grind it. I just did dungeon, Craglorn stuff, zero deal, blah blah.
But I mean, for the average gamer, do you think that they want to take 1 year, in your instance, taking to get to endgame, or me, 100 hours, 150? Like, it's yes, it has a lot of story, but to starting endgame does not begin at VR 1. I'm sorry, it does not. Why? Endgame is not Craglorn, in my opinion. Endgame is Vet Dragonstar Arena, and it's Serpent Ophidia. That's the top tier things in Endgame. Okay. You can do dungeons at Vet 1, but you can't do it all.
Okay, but then we have another problem, is that you really have nothing in Endgame. Because just have Craglorn and Sanctum Ophidia, it's not enough to have a proper endgame experience. So
and that in itself is a whole other can of worms, But
what do you do if you remove veteran levels? Then you're going to say, well, what's the end game in this game?
Then you have plenty of stuff to do.
Yeah, if they were to remove it, then your end game is going to be Craglorn, and it's going to be Cadwell's, and it's going to be all the vet dungeons.
Yeah.
Scaled down to level 50, I guess.
And after it scale with your own level, or your own jump. Oh well, I don't really know now. Yeah.
It's just a mix of it's two systems that haven't come together, and it feels like sloppy. Like, I wish they would have either stuck with the vet ranks and say screw it, or get rid of them before consoles, because you've had a year to remove vet ranks, and you've just implemented the champion system. So now you have the vet system, you have champion system, and they haven't gone anywhere in a year. It's like, I don't know.
The champion system is a lot better than the veteran system.
It's a way better. Get rid of the veteran system then.
Yeah, they should remove it. I understand
you have two endgame things. It's two advancement systems in one game.
But that's what they planned to do. They planned to implement the champion system, and by the way, that's why we do not have so much content right now. It's because they had to rework the whole veteran system that people were not happy about, and focus all their development.
Consoles.
Yes, probably console, but mostly champion system. This system was huge. It's huge.
I think it's 99%
It's-
consoles. That's console.
Yeah,
console.
it is consoles, but the thing, with the champion system for players like me, let's say they remove veteran ranks. Everybody caps out at level 50, and then the champion system is the nugget. It's it's the carrot at the end.
It's a
of the
nugget.
string.
No, it's a nugget.
Yeah,
It's a nugget.
if that is all I've got to work for, I'm going back to making more alts because
Yeah.
it. And another thing that I'm going to have issue with right now, the content, the end game content as it is what contains the gate that will determine who can go in and who cannot participate in that content. If they get rid of veteran ranks and champion points is the thing, that's when you're going to start seeing players implement gates saying, no, you can't join my group unless you have a champion rank of whatever. And when that starts happening, that's when I just absolutely stop doing any sort of end game stuff because I have no interest
I
in
understand.
players imposing crap like that, where it's going to determine whether I can or cannot join a group and get the stuff done.
That's a guild thing, right? I mean, if you have a guild, then that's a randoms.
It's a guild thing, but there's other games that have gear ranks and stuff like that in it. And if you're trying to get into a pickup group, if you don't have a guild or you want to get it done right now and none of your guild mates are on, and you're trying to get into a pickup group, I have seen it in other games where they impose, you have to have certain stuff that is actually kind of trivial in the grand scheme of things to join their group.
Sometimes there's a reason for that, because sometimes, and I will speak about World of Warcraft and their infamous gear score, which is now implemented in the game. Sometimes you just cannot do certain type of content because the difficulty is scaled to a certain level of gear instead of a level, and so it's kind of the same. I think that's a lot of people enjoy to have this horizontal progression where you can really do a lot of activities and you do not have to continuously climb the ladder of progression in endgame, and where endgame is like opening, or you have a lot of choice, you have a vast menu or buffet of activities to do, but in the same time players also want to have a progression, so it's kind of difficult for the developers to find the right system, the right balance between the two.
Well, I think that endgame would be 1,000 times better if it was just champion system, because Sid brought up a good point. If you remove veteran ranks, people get access to the end of the game way faster. Way 300 hours faster. So instead of having to grind to veteran 14 and giving up because you can't get the two-piece sets, because no one's going to run it at veteran rank 2. I mean, so you give up on that stuff. You never even get to see the game that they've put together and the trials and the dungeons, because people don't pick up VR2s. They don't pick people with 0 champion points. And last point I'll make, I think champion points should be given from level 1 to 50, or level 1 to VR14 or whatever. And here's why. Why can't I get credit for leveling and doing the lobby experience? I think you should, every experience you get in the game, I think should count towards champion points. Because if you like to roll alts and lobbies, you'll never have a single champion point. Right?
Yeah, but yes and no.
Well, here's when champion points, when that was implemented, I had 0 because the only vets that I had at the time were vet rank 1.
Yeah, me
and
too.
now I have 240.
Me too.
And I had 0 champion points. So all the champion points that I have now, I have gotten after the fact, and it's been, I don't care enough at this point, to when I hit VR 14 on that character, chances are I'm gonna go focus on something else. So it's not that big a deal to me specifically, but it's just like if that's what I'm working for, I don't want it.
The thing is that if you start to have champion points during your leveling, the content it's way too easy. I think it's nice to have champion points that are unlocked when you reach your first veteran one character, because then it becomes something to reward you to have already finished the game once, and then when you do a new character it's more easy, but in the same time you don't care so much that the content is easy because you have done it already and you're not looking for a challenge anymore. The leveling content is way too easy. This is a subject we could talk another time one day. But that's my opinion. But I have realized that for some players it's extremely hard, while for me, which I consider myself like an average gamer, not like a Deltia Super Inferno Nugget player, and it's too easy for me. So yeah, you need to keep, otherwise you will just face roll it and you will like it will have no interest if it's becoming even more easy than now.
I like it easy. I mean, I think that things should be basically easy to level. I think leveling to me in MMOs has never been the experience. It's always been getting to endgame and doing PvP till your eyes bleed or till your fingers bleed doing PvE. That's the game. It's like the challenge of sinking your teeth into something so challenging and that you die over and over, whether you're fighting another guild in PvP, whether you're taking down a dragon boss. That's the game. Fighting 5 goblins to me,
yeah, but
I can nuke that.
Why for the player that are like Citric and me, we enjoy leveling? Are we condemned to have easy content? Can we have dungeons that are hard, boss that are hard?
Leveling. Why not solo a dolmen? Why not solo dolmen?
But we do that. I'm doing this. I've done that. There's only few world boss I could not solo, but otherwise and it was disappointing. I don't want to be able to solo a dolmen. I want to have the need of having at least 2 or 3 friends with me.
That's what Dragonstar Arena's for.
Yeah, but Dragons are nice when you're veteran 14. When I'm level 20, I want to have challenge. When I'm level 14, I want challenge. It's not challenging. It's not challenging enough.
I think dungeons are very hard at low levels.
That's another discussion. Yeah. So I don't want that the actual content that is too easy now is more easy even. So that was my point.
So be it. All right. So what are the next subjects for next week?
Well, next week... Damn, I forgot. It was good subject.
Well, I'll go. It was Orsinium.
Oh, yes!
Do you want to discuss Orsinium, like what we think it's going to be, what we want it to be, what we've heard about it, that type of thing? And the other one, gosh, what was the other one? Oh, a really good one. It was Orsinium and then...
It's just good.
But
we should have wrote them down.
I thought Aloha did. Hold
Dang.
No, I never write.
It was Orsinium, and it was how the console release was going to go compared to PC, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's that. So Orsinium, or the comparison of console release and PC release, or provision, and we'll see if we are right or wrong. The 9th June.
Well,
That's
Good
gonna
stuff.
be a good con. That's 2 good con. We can remember them.
Yeah.
Damn it, they're good. They're good topics.
They
Okay.
are.
Well, thank you guys. Yeah.
Before we let go, I just want a little shout out here. While we were getting ready for the show and recording, the Mav Show hit 2,500 follows on Twitch. So
Oh, wow.
Congratulations to the
congrats
Mav
to
Show.
Mav.
Congrats.
Well, goodbye everyone. Thank you so much to have watched, and see you next week.
I was
Bye.
right.